What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, flu test, RSV, maybe a test for some other virus, I hope you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long-term issues and no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Monday edition of the Virus Update for Monday, January 27th, 2025. If you're new to my channel, you have clicked onto the channel that gives you updates on all the viruses that can make us sick. Now more than ever, you need a source of or a way to find information on what's going on with these viruses. CDC, other organizations, yes, they're not really allowed to communicate much with you anymore. They're not sharing much data. I find whatever news I can find on what's going on, not just in the United States, all around the world, and I compile it all into one video almost every day. So, want to stay informed with what's going on? Just subscribe down below. We're trying for 10,000 subscribers this year, and I think at this pace, we're on our way to doing that. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Share this video with anyone you know. I encounter people all the time that are looking for ways to find information of what's going on, and I often mention my channel. And, of course, leave any comments down below, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Alrighty, we do have just a few news stories today. We have several things from B&O News Day. It was a busy news day from them. Of course, they did give us the weekly update. Then we're going to take a look at some daily data, some Walgreens data, and maybe just a little bit of wastewater. That's pretty much all I have for today. So, starting off with B&O News and their weekly update for COVID and new cases, 188,571 is what they came up with for the United States. How they're getting all this data, I honestly don't know. Are they using states? Are they using CDC? I honestly don't know at this point because, like I said, CDC data is very scarce at this point. Admissions, hospital admissions, down by 8%, 13,200. In the hospital, 11,201. That's down by 9%. In the ICU, 1,679. That's down by 3%. New deaths, 967. The average is 800. That's up by 19%, and that, my friends, is not a good thing. But then we come to this from B&O News, which was put out this morning, and this is actually coming from the World Organization for Animal Health, and this is not good. A new variant of H5N9 bird flu, which has not been detected, which has not been found before, sharing the same clade 2.3.4.4b with H5N1. So a similarity has been found with this. Again, this is H5N9. If you're keeping a scorecard, there's a lot of different H viruses. There's H1N1, H5N1. There's a lot of different ones. This is another, and this time it has been found in California. Yes. It's not so common from what I am reading. And it was found in a poultry farm, and 119,000 birds have been culled at this time. Continuing on, they also say this day, this is something else that is not good. In England, the UK reports a human case of H5N1 bird flu at a farm in West Midlands. So, yes, another human case of H5N1 bird flu has been detected. This time, it is in the UK. And then you come to this, and, you know, you have to see it coming because data is just going to get more scarce. So as of 2 hours ago, U.S. health officials were told to stop working with the World Health Organization effective immediately. So we knew we were getting cut off from the World Health Organization by the new presidential administration, and now the CDC and others are being told to just immediately stop talking with the World Health Organization altogether. Totally ridiculous. We're losing communication and collaboration. Not a good thing. We'll have another video on that some other time. All right, New Hampshire has one of the highest respiratory illness risks in the country, CDC says. Now, this was an article that came out over the weekend. This was from the last time CDC updated. We don't know when the CDC is actually going to update again, but yes, New Hampshire is dealing with high respiratory illnesses, and it looks like 11 recorded adult deaths so far this flu season. So 11 deaths in adults for flu this season. And again, this data came out despite the freeze. This was back on Friday, but it's hard to say if we're going to get any more data after this from what I am hearing. Now moving on to this from Iowa. School absences from sicknesses soar in Polk County as vaccination rates keep falling. And it sounds like some schools have seen a big increase. The absentee rate in some schools is greater than 10%, which is really concerning. We heard something similar about this on Friday. I believe it was from Friday in Iowa. So this is something we will have to keep our eyes on. Moving on to this now. Brockton Park, this is up in Massachusetts, is dealing with issues from bird flu. So they've had to close the park out of an abundance of caution. And finally, from ABC News, this is in the news category, ABC News is reporting that Mayor Adams, Eric Adams out of New York City, is going to be limiting his schedule this week because he's having some routine medical tests. Now, if you may recall, if you remember, Eric Adams has had COVID a few times. So some have made the case saying that, well, because he's had COVID, maybe that's part of the reason why he might be having some problems. We can't say that. We don't know that. But he is definitely having some medical screenings done. All right, taking a look at this now. This is something really interesting. This is COVID wastewater data, and we're going to take a look at these charts here. I'm going to try and zoom them in. And this is wastewater data from several different countries. We do see Austria at this time is dropping. Slovenia was overall dropping. Looks like there's a little bit of an increase on the most recent update. France at this time is dropping. United States is not shown on this. Sweden is dropping. Switzerland was rising, but now is starting to drop. And taking a look at what's going on in Italy, looks like Italy goes back to January 8th. Some of this data here that you see is behind. I should make you aware of that. Italy is dropping. Netherlands was dropping. Now it's leveled off. New Zealand, as of January 19th, slowly, it's not really dropping. It's not really rising, but it's holding steady at this point. We'll have to see if that leads towards a potential rise. Finland at this point is dropping. Germany at this time is dropping. And taking a look at what's going on with Canada. Canada at this time for COVID is finally dropping. Nothing out of Berlin. And that is it. So good to see some international data from time to time. That is from EPI Trend. EPI Trend. All right, moving on now. Just a reminder, my website, datareport.info. If you're looking for a study, maybe you got a doctor's appointment coming up. Maybe you have had COVID and you want to present a study to your doctor. Good place to find them in here. I'm constantly adding new studies. I try and add a few each week. So these studies archive is going to continue to fill up like it should because it is good to get new data and information. Taking a look at this. In Canada, the COVID viral activity level is listed now at moderate. Flu A is high, Flu B is moderate, and RSV is high. Taking a look at what's going on with air qualities today, and we will see that there are still problems in the West Coast and portions of the East do still have problems going on, but not as significant today. We can see here the states in between, just the Mid-South is having a few problems. Great Lakes and upper Midwest-Northern Plains are doing pretty good. Colorado still has some problems. And along the 95 corridor in the east, there are problems today. Taking a look at Pinellas County, Florida, we see, wow, a lot of calls right now. Just a general mix of calls. Breathing problems, chest problems, sick person calls, unconscious person. Yeah, we're seeing there's a lot of calls right now. Philadelphia, 778 EMS incidents yesterday. That's actually a good number considering there was a big celebration. The Philadelphia Eagles won yesterday. And the Kansas City Chiefs won yesterday as well. That's why I'm in red today, because I actually like the Kansas City Chiefs. The coach there, Andy Reid, used to be the Eagles coach, so I am a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs. Anyone from Kansas, good luck. All right, taking a look here. Wow, this is a lot of calls. We're very late with our video today. This is a lot of calls. 18 EMS calls in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania at 6:21 at night. That's kind of unusual. I'm seeing Lower Marion Township cardiac arrest. Seeing a lot of cardiac emergencies showing up here throughout the day. That's not a good thing. Taking a look at what is going on in Chester County. Whoa. Take a look at all these calls. Again, this is late for there to be this high of calls. Penn Township, cardiac arrest. I'm seeing respiratory difficulty once. Sick person, another respiratory difficulty. Multiple heart problem calls. Sick person again. Yeah, very busy at this time. And let's see if that translates to hospitals being busy. And yes, there are some hospitals that are busy in Pennsylvania at this time. We are seeing yellow show up. Seeing multiple hospitals in Lehigh Valley with problems. Good to see the Pocono Mountains in northeast Pennsylvania come up green today. That's something we don't see very often, where all the hospitals there are listed at green. Taking a look at New Jersey, I've noted that there have been several hospitals with issues this afternoon. Not one, not two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hospitals dealing with patient volume issues at this time. And let's see, is Princeton one of them once again? No, I'm not seeing Princeton listed today. That's a good thing, because Princeton has been having problems all month long. So good to see that. All right, drum roll, please. Here is the latest Walgreens update. The national positivity rate for COVID at Walgreens is 11.5%. And that did go down by 0.8%. And there is a surprise twist here. What is that? Take a look at the number of tests. 7,431 versus 6,928. Yes, testing did go up, at least when you look at the dashboard. It says it went up. But with that, with the improvement, there are still some states that did go up. So let's investigate. And we're just going to quickly go through these states. New Hampshire, it's a state that goes up, down, up, down. That would explain your rise. 16.7% positivity rate, up by 9.5%. They are known for wild swings. You can see that here ever since about, we'll say 2023. They have had wild swings. Only 18 tests done there. What is going on in Rhode Island? Well, Rhode Island also has some wild swings. Their testing dropped, so the positivity rate went up. 14% positivity rate, up by 2.2%. North Carolina, positivity rate is 10.9%. They don't have wild swings. That's up by 2.9%, and testing up. So that's something we have to keep an eye on. 451 tests versus 400. Kentucky, 13.2% positivity rate, with testing being up 76 versus 55. That is up by 4.1%. Taking a look at Indiana, the positivity rate is 23.4%. Testing did drop slightly, but again, that's 5.8% increase. Could be a combination of a drop in testing and cases struggling to drop, maybe. Taking a look at what's going on in Alabama, 11.5% positivity rate. Testing's down, 4.9% increase. You did 96 tests versus 107. Could be because of testing. Could be maybe because the South has been so cold. Florida, 10.3% positivity rate. That is up by 1.3%. 889 tests versus 896. Georgia, the positivity rate is 8.4%. Testing is down 285 versus 340. Positivity rate only went up by 0.5%. We can say that is because of testing. And this may be because of testing as well. Louisiana, 12.2% positivity rate versus 9.3%. Up 2.9%. Total test, 41 versus 54. Kansas, the positivity rate is 11.9%. With testing up, 67 versus 38. You do some up and down movements here, but again, that's up by 6.7%. That could be a case-related thing. New Mexico, 1.5% increase in positivity rate. It is 11.8% versus 10.3%. Total test, 34 versus 39. Utah, the positivity rate is 12.1% versus 6.7%. Testing was up, 5.5% increase in positivity rate. Yeah, your cases could be rising. 33 tests versus 30. California, let's do some green states now. Places where things are improving. California, 6.9%. That's down by 2.1%. Testing did drop some. That's some good news. Oregon, you only did 12 tests, and, well, it's not coming up. I don't understand why it's 0.0% positivity rate. Washington, the positivity trend is 9.9%. That's down by 7.3%. 71 tests versus 64 tests. Taking a look at what's going on in Colorado, 12.5% positivity rate. That's down with testing being down. New York State, 17.7%. Missouri at this time, 9.6%. That's down by 9.5%. Testing did go up 135 versus 115. And we'll end Walgreens on Iowa. The positivity rate is 11.5%. That's down by 5.9%. Total tests, 26 versus 23 at this time. All right, let's take a look at some data here from wastewater scan, and you can see it was where we left off yesterday. Anytime you refresh this page, it goes back to where I was yesterday. But we are going to take a look randomly at a couple wastewater sites. We'll see what happens here. When you take a look at the national and whatnot, you see the wonky movements do show up. It's the beginning of the week. It tends to happen. Let's take a look at Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Come on, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at that. And then we will go out to the West Coast, and we can see there is a little bit of a rise once again, Harrisburg. And it's not so much a wonky movement. It's multiple updates here. COVID is running high at this time. RSV, thankfully, does continue to drop. Influenza A, it did peak once on January 1st. Then it dropped. Then it started rising once again. Influenza B is low. HMPV is low. Norovirus still high at this time. One detection of hepatitis all the way back in October of last year. Now let's make our way out to Tennessee. Let's see what's going on in Memphis, Tennessee. Can we? Memphis, Tennessee. COVID is listed at medium at this time. RSV is low. Influenza A is high at this time. And it does look like overall it's been going up. Hopefully it is peaking. Influenza B and HMPV is low. Norovirus is still listed high at this time. No Mpox issues there. Continuing our way, we'll go southwestward. Let's take a look at Wichita Falls, Texas, if we can. COVID is low, rising slightly. RSV is high and rising. Influenza A is rising at this time. Influenza B is low. HMPV is low. EVD68 is coming up low at this time. And Mpox, no detections at this time. All right, let's go out to the West Coast, shall we? Let's take a look at what is going on in San Diego. Can we? Sometimes we can't. I hope we can see San Diego. Alrighty, San Diego, California. 2.2 million population at this wastewater site. COVID is low at this time. RSV is running high. Influenza A is rising a little bit. Influenza B is high at this time. And HMPV is low. EVD68 is low. Norovirus is listed in the medium category at this time. And we can see Mpox is running low at this time. Alrighty, folks. That does it for the Monday edition of the Virus Update. We'll have another update again tomorrow. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below. Hit that notification bell. Share this video with anyone you know. And, of course, leave your comments down below. That pretty much does it for today's video. You can follow me on Blue Sky. You can follow me on X. You can also follow me on TikTok. Now, I haven't posted anything on TikTok yet, nor do I know if TikTok is actually going to remain in the United States, but I thought, well, maybe if it's possible, I'll also post these videos to TikTok or post a few shorts on there. It was just an idea that came to my head this morning, so I'm going to see if I can also post this on TikTok to reach more people. Alrighty, see you all again tomorrow. Till I see you again tomorrow, stay safe, everyone, and thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, TikTok, my username is @VirusDataReport. That's what was available. Alright, see you again tomorrow.